So welcome to our Rodell cast, and I'm very pleased to be on the Delaware Tech Community College campus. And I'm here with Rachel, who is the Director of Workforce Development, and Alyssa and La'Niya from McKean High School, who are part of the Patient Care Technician Pathway Program. And we're going to be talking about this intersection between education and the workforce. And I wanted to start off by just saying, or asking Rachel, just maybe give us a little bit of a context on what the Patient Care Technician Pathway is.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Paul. The Patient Care Technician Pathway at Delaware Tech provides an opportunity for high school students to come to our campus during their high school hours, earn high school credit, dual enrollment, or advanced standing in a college program, as well as state and nationally recognized stackable credentials in certified nursing assistant, phlebotomy, and patient care assistant, all highly in-demand job fields.
Mm-hmm. And in terms of how much time it involves, give us a sense of how many clinical hours are involved here.
Sure. The whole program is actually a 2-year commitment. Students take it in their junior and senior year, spend between 8 and 10 hours a week on the college campus, and approximately 400 to 450 hours of theory-based learning takes place over those 2 years, and roughly 150 hours of clinical experiences that could be between 2 or 3 different types of clinical settings. So from a long-term care facility to an acute medical center like a Christiana Care or a BB Health.
Great, thanks Rachel. And talk about the Patient Care Technician program. Maybe I'll start with you, Alyssa. Just this is your second year, but
Yep.
For somebody who is unfamiliar with it, what does it involve?
A lot of hands-on. So if you like hands-on work, which I do very well with hands-on because I actually struggle with an IEP, but hands-on really helps a lot with that. So we actually get to go in person to like healthcare facilities, and it's really fun.
How would you describe it, La'Niya?
I would say it's a lot of reading and a lot of, like, you have to be focused. Like, you can because we're human and we have a lot of other things going on, but when you're in this setting, you have to be in this setting. You can't be outside focused on, oh, what are my friends doing? Like, you have to be here. You have to be dedicated. We're constantly doing book work. We're doing hands-on. We practice mannequins. We practice on our friends, each other. We give the old lady scream. Like, we do a lot of role play, so we know like different things that can happen, and we can have different reactions because there's plenty of different scenarios that can happen, and you just have to be prepared for everything.
You got me intrigued with the old lady scream.
Yeah.
So what sort of things do you prepare for?
So the other day we were in class and we were practicing sticks on each other, and I'm the patient, and then one of our classmates was sticking me while I was in bed, and La'Niya's in the background making all these noises and all this, and I'm complaining to one of my classmates, and we're trying to get her to work with like not so nice patients because not everyone's going to be bright and happy in the world.
Mm-hmm. And I know that La'Niya, you said that you worked with an actual patient who was challenging. Maybe just talk about that a little bit.
She was challenging, but she was just challenging in her own way. She wanted more, she wanted more from her healthcare team. She wanted to be talked to. She didn't want to be talked to like someone they knew, instead of acting like instead of treating her like she's a patient and like a person, a human. So with me, I was just gentle with her, talking to her. She just wanted a person to talk to because her family doesn't really visit her much. So it was hard, but it was a good experience because you will have family members and you will have friends one day that will get to that point. So not only is it helpful for us to learn this in the healthcare field and in the healthcare setting, but also it's real life things. Like, we will need this in the real life to be compassionate and empathetic and helpful to other people.
huge life lesson.
Very.
So I'll start with you, Alyssa, since you're closer. Just give us a sense of, all right, you're a freshman at McKean High School. Walk us through how you even thought about this decision to become involved in this patient care technician pathway.
Okay, so I started as a freshman and I wanted to be a vet. And then so I decided to take animal science, and that quickly was not my cup of tea.
How did you decide that? What made you just, yeah?
I mean, I love animals, but it's just like not what I really wanted.
Yeah.
Because I was working in daycare at the time, so I seen the difference between animals and working in daycare.
Yeah.
And then so I decided, let's drop animal science and pick up human development, which that was what I liked, but I was just like, it's still not what I want. So then I was like, the patient care tech program starts next year, why don't I sign up for it and try something new? And I ended up really enjoying it.
How about you, La'Niya?
Well, as a freshman, I originally went to Hudson, so I went to a VOTEC school. But I didn't want to remain at Hudson. I wanted to go to McKean. Well, at Hudson, I wanted to do the medical assistant program there. And then when I got to McKean, I figured out that they had a patient care program. So my counselors, they worked with me to figure out what my options were. And they said this would be a good option for me because it would give me opportunities out of high school. So I picked the patient care route.
And again, we've talked a little bit before, but you're both really busy. So maybe I'll start with you, La'Niya, around what your high school experience looks like. You're now seniors in high school, both of you. But give us a sense of the range of things you're doing in addition to school.
Okay, so my week is kind of chaotic, but chaotic is kind of my style because it keeps me busy, it keeps me going forward. I know I gotta go to school, then I have to go to practice, and I have to go to work. Then on days I have to go to Del Tech, I have to go to Del Tech, then I have to go to practice, and either I have to go to work. I'm in National Honor Society, we have meetings sometime, so it's just a lot that goes into the day, but they all kind of flow. Then in the beginning it was kind of hard juggling everything, but now it's more simpler.
How about you, Alyssa? You're very busy, I know, too.
Yes, I'm very busy. I start my day at 5:30 in the morning. That's when I wake up, and then I actually head to the daycare, and I open the daycare, and then I leave at 7 o'clock when I open, and then I go to school. And then, so we have A and B days, so we'll switch. So yesterday I was at school all day, and then today I'm here. And then I'll go back to school and aid for Metawood and autism at my school. And then after school, if we have practice, I'll do practice. If I have 2 practices, I'll do half and half. And then if not, I'll go to work.
Rachel, maybe describe a little bit about how this program has evolved, because it started off with college students, folks who are post-high school, and over the last couple of years, 5 years ago maybe, it was evolved such that it could work with high school students. And so maybe just talk about how that evolution worked and what does it look like across the state maybe.
Yeah, happy to. So yes, absolutely, the curriculum was developed with adults in mind. Through partnerships with local healthcare providers, there was an emerging need and a new job position for patient care assistants, and employer input told us that having a certified nursing credential and a phlebotomy credential prior to being a patient care technician was very valuable. So we crafted the curriculum, worked with our employer partners to ensure that their input was added, and began to offer it for adult age students. 3 years after beginning that program, we began to work with our partners to establish an even deeper pipeline, which would start at the high school level. So we did some minor modifications, which were more about classroom management, and maybe added more interactive components to ensure that we kept the attention of our incoming high school students, but the rigor is still there. The curriculum and the competencies that need to be learned are still in that curriculum, and the high school students are achieving the same skills and competencies that adults were learning prior to that, and it's been very effective.
And what does it look like statewide? I know you started with, I think McKean was one of your first high schools, but it's now expanded. Maybe explore or explain a bit about that.
Yes, we started with one high school per county and 3 district partners, and we are now up to higher level of district partners and 7 active high schools that each have multiple cohorts running. So it's a 2-year program. So if you start in your junior year, you'll have juniors and seniors continuously cascading through the program. So here at the Wilmington campus, we have 4 cohorts concurrently running to serve juniors and seniors across 4 different schools in Newcastle County.
And given the pandemic, how has the feedback you're getting from employers changed? What are they saying are kind of top of mind for them right now?
Yeah, so there have actually been new job positions that have emerged as a result of the pandemic. There's a major health system that created a virtual medical center. And this year we piloted a training program to train virtual medical assistants. So there are live examples of some of the ongoing impacts from the pandemic and how we need to respond to them appropriately.
And Rachel, are there intentional efforts to think about those broader skills in addition to sort of the clinical, sort of more, I would say more technical skills about how to do phlebotomy or something like that, but just sort of that broader sort of life skills?
Yeah, definitely. We like to say when we work with our high school youth programs that exposure is expansion. So being on the college setting definitely gives you a competitive advantage. That you're more prepared to emotionally handle the rigor of post-secondary education if that's the route the student chooses to take, and going into the clinical setting and working with industry professionals who are conducting the instruction in the classroom helps with that professional maturity. So learning that at a young age is also an advantage.
And do you have a sense of what your success rate is in terms of folks getting hired right out of the program? Or?
We're actually continuing to evaluate that as classes graduate. We started the program with 53 students in our first year statewide across multiple campuses, and we are now up to over 290 students. So as students graduate, we begin to learn if they're going to post-secondary or to work or both.
Right.
So we're witnessing a greater than 75% rate at this point, but it continues to grow as we grow the cohorts.
I imagine a lot of young people are going to be choosing to continue on with their education and maybe working as they're doing it. But
Correct.
Alyssa, maybe start with you. What are you thinking about next year?
Next year I'm going to go to Del Tech and pursue in nursing, and then hopefully get a job either at Christiana's new pediatric department or Nemours.
Awesome. How about you, La'Niya?
So right now I'm not really sure what I want to do, but I know I want to go to college for radiology. So someone from Del Tech had advised me to meet with an admissions counselor or a student counselor just to see how like the schedules would link up, so I wouldn't be really too stressed out about that. But I really do want to be a traveling phlebotomist and be able to travel and just do phlebotomy.
So I know travel is important to you. You talked a little bit about that. Why is that important to you?
I think I get really attached really fast. Like, I just don't want to get attached to anyone. I want to be able to help a lot of different people without hurting myself. Because I already know I get attached. I like to build bonds with patients and stuff.
Well, it's going to be a huge asset. What sort of careers would Alyssa and La'Niya be prepared for?
So Alyssa and La'Niya and any student in the program are going to walk out with state and national credentials and be immediately employable. Be able to be certified nursing assistants, phlebotomists, or patient care assistants in a variety of settings. But we've also provided an opportunity to earn hours that can translate into credit in college or advanced standing in a variety of programs within the allied health field. So you may be medical assistant all the way to the nursing field, which are, again, highly in-demand positions. And the students that come out of the Pathways programs are prepared for those positions.
In terms of the day-to-day of this, how does it differ from what you were getting, say, in your freshman and sophomore year of high school?
It's very different. I feel like since we're doing this program and it's actually in a college, it gets you more prepared for like when you actually go to college. Because when you're in a high school setting, I mean, you know, it's just high school, so it's not going to be the college setting.
How would you describe how it's different, La'Niya?
This is more, you have more freedom. We talk for a little bit, we get breaks, we can get up, it's different. We could go get food on our
Sounds like
breaks.
you're treated like adults.
Yes, like
Yeah.
it feels so much better, and I feel like that helps like students like get into the real world setting. When you come here, it's like you're more adultish. You can say what you need, say what you want. You need help somewhere, you need to express that.
And in terms of just like your own self-reflection, I mean, one of the things that I was just admiring about the two of you and just getting to know you a little bit is that you're pretty self-reflective. I mean, to talk a little bit about what you've learned about yourself through this process, maybe La'Niya.
I realized that I'm capable of many things that I didn't think I was. I was very stuck up and very just in my own bubble when I started doing the program, but the program teaches you to sprout out, talk to people more, introduce yourself to people, not just to stay in this one mindset.
More open?
Yeah, open mindset. You get a more open mindset of like people. Everyone doesn't have to like you, but you still have to keep a professional aura, even though that might be the case.
Anything else you would add, Alyssa, in terms of what you've learned about yourself?
Don't give up, because like with me like struggling with my IP, I didn't give up. I kept pushing, and look where I am now.
You should be very proud of yourself. So if you were to think about high school broadly, and you had a magic wand, how would you think about improving high school in Delaware?
I think make it more fun for people to come to school, because a lot of high schoolers nowadays really don't enjoy coming to school, and they just come just to get the attendance, and then they sleep through class and all that. So we really need, like, it's really what the parents need to do. They need to encourage their kids to go to school, because not many of them are encouraging their kids to go to school. But I think they should open like nursing programs in the school, because like some kids, like if they don't have a bus to school, how are they going to get here? So encourage like nursing in schools.
I think schools should implement more programs like this, and it doesn't necessarily have to be like patient care. It could be like electricity. Like there's a lot of different programs, but and also create like a safe space for students like that do stuff like this, like to have like a place where we could do our homework for here, and just like different opportunities for different students.
And from a higher ed perspective or an employer perspective, are there more things you would like to see happen? I mean, you've been at Del Tech for what, 17 years?
Wow.
What are some of the changes you see on the horizon in terms of what, say, Del Tech is going to be doing, or you're hearing from employers that should be done?
Sure. And you definitely hit the nail on the head. The most important part there is our continued communication with employers. We create programs that help to make the students part of the pipeline for the future. So that really is the key, is to continue to work with employers, receive input and feedback as to what the most recent and latest skills are and how the jobs are continuing to evolve. So that's definitely a role we play in workforce development, but it's not possible without our employer partnerships.
Is there anything else you would want to add, La'Niya or Alyssa, in terms of your experience for folks who may be interested in the patient care technician pathway?
Give it a try. Doesn't hurt to try it.
Yes, I say go for it. Like, and if it's something you're struggling with, you can get help. Like, you don't have to just drop it because you're struggling. You can ask for help. You can ask your peers to help you. We're all doing the same thing. Teachers, school teachers, anything. Just keep pushing, keep going.
That's awesome. And Rachel, anything else you'd want to add about the program or the future of Del Tech in this space?
Sure. Honestly, I'll just thank our partners, the program. They're making it possible, from the school districts and the high schools up and down the state, our funding partners, and the valuable input we receive from our employers.
Well, thank you all.
Thank
This
you.
This was a lot of fun to get to know you a little bit, and just really excited to hear about what you do next.
Yes, I'm excited.
All right. Thank you all for joining us for this podcast on the patient care technician pathway, and we look forward to talking to you next time.